In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to gather some data using a Google form as kind of like a survey. So to do that, you're going to log into your Google account, and once you get into your Google Drive, you're going to click on the Create button and select Form. Now when that comes up, you're going to first pick out your theme, and then one of the things you want to make sure that you change is up here at the top where it says Form Settings. You want to remove the check mark asking people to log in. The reason we're doing that is because you don't want any obstacles from people completing this. If this check mark was still there, folks that receive the survey would have to sign in with their Google Apps account. If they forget their password, don't know their username, then they're not going to fill it out. So we usually want to remove that. Down here, we give our title. So let's say that it is we're going to call this Lunch Ideas. Come down to question title is pretty much just what our question is. And a lot of times I try to break apart questions into as many little pieces as possible. So I want to know the person's name that's submitting this, so first I'm going to ask them for their very first name. Go down to the question type, and I want to select text. And then I'm also going to come down here in this box where it says required question. I'm going to check mark that, so that way if somebody accidentally leaves it blank, Google will prompt them that they need to respond to that question. So I've got that question set. I'm going to come down here where it says add item. I'm going to click on the drop down and go to text again. And this time I'm going to ask for their last name. And this is going to make my data much more sortable once I get my spreadsheet. I'll make that required. And I'm going to go down to the next add item. And some other choices I do have. Paragraph text is just going to give me a bigger box for people to enter in their responses. Multiple choice, the person can pick one of the choices that you provide. Check boxes would be if they can pick more than one thing. So let's say they make 3 out of the 5 selections. Check boxes is the way to go. Choose from a list is going to give you kind of a drop down choice. So it looks the same as multiple choice, but it's just that it lines up as a drop down. And then you do have other features, like you can use a scale for some different things, but we're not going to mess with that right now. I'm going to go ahead and pick multiple choice. And in my question title, I'm just going to put, where would you like to go for lunch? We come down here with our options. Oops, I want to get rid of where it says option 2. We got some of our local places here. And once I'm set with that, I can decide if I want to make that a required question or not. And if I've got everything, my 3 choices, I go ahead and I click Done. So I've got my survey all set. There's my first name, last name, where would you like to go for lunch? I scroll down here and I click on Send Form. And once that Send Form pops up, I'm going to go where it says Link to Share, and I'm going to take that link and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And then that link that I had copied, I can go ahead and open up my email program and email that link out to anybody that I want to respond to it. When people click on that link, they're basically going to see this form, and they can go ahead and enter in their data, submit their answer. I'm going to go ahead and pretend that I'm somebody else. Submit another answer. And then we'll take a look at what this data looks like. Now if I want to see what the data looks like, I can go back to my Google Drive, and you'll see that I've got 2 things here that say Lunch Ideas. Okay, I've got Lunch Ideas. This is my form. This is actually the questions that people are answering. But this other one says Responses after it. That's going to take me to my spreadsheet with all of my responses. So I can see when they entered it in, first name, last name, where they want to go. If I want to do some sorting, I can say, hey, let's go ahead and sort this from A to Z. I can do that. If I want to sort by the last name of who submitted, and click up here to get stuff in alphabetical order. And another really handy tool, something that kind of auto totals things. If I come up here to where it says form, I can then select show summary of responses, and anything that's a multiple choice question, you're going to get a nice little total. Where would you like to go for lunch? One person said Jim and Nina's, one said Aunt Nettie's. It'll automatically total that up for you. Now your text responses, that summary is not going to do much anything. It just shows them all. But if you have multiple choice, it does a nice kind of auto total feature for that. Okay, and again, to see that, that is under form, summary of responses.